Welcome back to the Twitch TV Lounge. I'm Richard Lewis, and over the course of the day, we've been interviewing lots of streaming personalities and esports celebrities. And now, it's a very special moment because we've got someone from home turf, someone who was well known to the Swedish audience, one of Sweden's biggest YouTubers. It is Sam Nordmark.
Yes, it's me.
How are you doing, Sam?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing not so bad, actually. You're looking like you've lost weight since I last saw you.
Well, you know, I wish I could say the same for you.
So do I.
Yeah, but you know.
We can just insult each other all day.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pay you. In fact, I'm not insulting you. I'm complimenting you.
Yeah, I know. And same with me. It's just like, you know, kind of backwards logic. I'm just not really careful with my words, you know? I just say, I wish that you'd gone down in weight too.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, when you're a celebrity like you, I guess you can get away with things.
True.
So, let's talk about why you're here.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
I work for Fragbite, and I'm here to cover the Dota and StarCraft 2 and Counter-Strike events, pretty much.
Okay. So, how have you been finding them? I got to be honest, I've been up here doing lots of interviews and stuff. Haven't had a lot of time to drink in kind of all of the action.
Yeah.
The Dota tournament especially has passed me by. So what's been going on there then?
Nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, it was trouble from the beginning because Dream League got really... They had a lot of trouble to begin with just scheduling conflicts, and then just a lot of drama in the actual arrangement of the tournament, to say the least.
Yeah, we talked about that with Bruno earlier.
Yeah. So that was a disaster. But ever since, and that was pretty much mostly just because Bruno and Too Good weren't running the show like they were last season. But then they got in, and everything's just been smooth sailing since then, pretty much. So.
What about the games? Any surprises?
I mean, the fact that I guess Virtus Pro, which is this Russian team that weren't supposed to be there, they got in because the two Chinese team couldn't come. So then they got a free ticket in, and then Alliance, you know, the TI3 winners, they're pretty much in shambles now. So they had to go there with 3 stand-ins. So it was it was pretty bad. But I mean, they went in with the attitude of let's just do it. They haven't missed a DreamHack yet, I think. So
yeah, why not then?
Yeah.
So lots to write about and report on from your perspective.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with the Swedish stuff with Alliance, since it's it was such a massive thing back in 2013, and that they just came crashing down so hard, in comparison to in 2014. It's been a lot to write about. Definitely, yeah. It's a strong subject.
So what about the StarCraft tournament? Have you had any chance to watch that at all?
Not all too much. I mean, most of the...
I hear the Koreans are winning.
Really? That's a first.
Yeah, I know. That's never happened.
Really weird.
Shock.
They're 2 non-Korean players win the tournament, and none of them got out of the groups. That's just incredible, man.
Bro, we can't wait for Legacy of the Void to get here and, maybe change things.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Because, there'll be some, American or something that'll, hardcore the game right at the start.
Yeah.
Win, the first tournament ever. Declare himself the best in the world for, 3 weeks. Yeah. And then we'll all just move on.
Yeah, and we'll just, keep on holding on to, the hope, Idra would just give him another event. It'll be good. He'll have trained super hard for that one. That one's going to be his thing. And we set up for 3 years, and then just ends in a complete cloud of disappointment.
Yeah, that sounds like the classic esports story.
Life in general.
Yeah, and life.
Yeah.
A bit existentialist.
Yeah.
I guess we are in Sweden.
Yeah.
And of course, then Counter-Strike, which is the one that's really, I think, got a lot of drama around it and has drawn everyone's attention in what with the vacuuming that's been occurring. I don't know if you've had a lot of chance to do some reporting on it, but...
No, it was my very dear co-worker and editor-in-chief, Andre, Rich for most internet people, that's been covering most of that. I've just been sitting on the sidelines, but that's a mess.
Yeah, no, but putting it mildly.
Yeah.
I mean, I was at Fragbite's Masters, where we saw some of these teams competing, and, it kind of makes me...
wonder.
Yeah.
It feels really weird, especially since some of that happened in the Fragbite Masters tournament, some of the Flusha clips.
Yeah, the Flusha clips in particular.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
I mean, I guess it's just until someone's actually gotten a VAC ban, I'm not going to make any judgments, pretty much. I mean,
Even if you see videos that look strange?
I mean, yeah, and I can still think that looks strange, but unless, I actually get the final word on it from Valve, I'm not going to join in the witch hunt, which has been, that's, been the worst part of all this. Sure, it sucks that someone's cheating, but now they're, I can't even imagine like how much it just must suck for Flusha, especially since it hasn't been proven yet. I mean, he hasn't gotten back banned, Valve haven't gotten back to him or anything, and he's still playing in the tournament. And that every single move he makes is still being like completely scrutinized. That's just, I don't think really that's the way to go, because you need some kind of proof. He's not guilty until he's been proven guilty, you know.
But the videos are kind of proof. I mean, I think this is the hardest thing to sort of, you know, I get what you're saying, and I'm the same. I don't really like witch hunting as a rule.
Yeah.
But, I got to say, there's some fairly compelling evidence in this video. I mean, if it was one video, I'd be like, yo, like this is ridiculous. And what are we even talking about? We're talking maybe 10 or 15.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, but I'm still not really comfortable in just making a judgment and expressing it in that way, because it still feels like that there has to be something from Valve in that case. That's the only way to me that it's like ultimate proof that, you know, he is a cheater. Then it'll be just, then I can just completely, you know, accept it. I can go full witch hunt, no, not really, but I can just think, you know, okay, well, that's a shame. We thought he was a super legit player, and it just turned out that he was cheating, and that sucks. But like, until then, no, I still don't feel comfortable about it, even though you say that there is compelling evidence. It's just, you don't want to believe it, but you see it, and you just feel, you start wondering, but at the same time, you just sort of want to deny it in a way, I guess. Yeah. And that's it's a struggle, I guess you could call it, like, between whether or not you should just completely condemn him immediately, or if you should just wait and see, because I guess both of them have their own sort of appeal, but it's hard to reach. You have to find some kind of middle ground. You can't just go full witch hunt, and you can't just go full, oh, he's innocent. So
what did you think of the decision that DreamHack took to, you know, remove whole teams for having one cheater in them? We saw this with, you know, Titan and Epsilon.
I hope I'm not getting in trouble for saying anything like this.
Why would you get in trouble?
I mean, I don't know.
Put it this way, Thorin did a video saying it was absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
And they had a meeting about it the other day before the tournament began with the Valve staff present, and he told Valve it was absolute bullshit as well. And he's working for DreamHack. I don't think you're going to get
how'd they react, just out of interest?
Well, the word on the street was, you know, they took it quite well. That's you know, that's Valve. They're Valve. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you say about them. They are Valve. You know, we win.
Yeah. I mean, I can't lie and say that it wouldn't have been more fun to maybe see Kenny S at the tournament than maybe like Copenhagen Wolves and that kind of stuff. I mean, it's a shame. I mean, especially I guess since Planet Key got in, even though CLY got back banned, and they still just replaced him. I don't know. Like,
yeah, it's been a complex situation. I think the worst thing for DreamHack was that it happened so close to the event.
Yeah.
You know, it was like you're kind of scrambling. There's no guidebook on how to deal with like the first major potential VAT ban wave.
Yeah.
I mean, some people are still speculating actually that, you know, they've delayed VAT bans so the tournament can go ahead because, you know, the pro scene could have been absolutely decimated. I don't know if that's true.
But I mean, that still doesn't work then, because then if you just admit afterwards, oh yeah, they cheated, then why did you even put on a show in the first place if you're just going to steal away all the lights after the fact, you know? Yeah. The most fun thing would probably be, you know, like right before, you know, they make that final kill, an entire team just gets vac banned immediately, you know, 15-15, or just instantly like that. That would be the best thing.
Some people actually thought, this goes to show how people in esports think, some people thought that they were going to allow the teams to turn up, you know, spend thousands of pounds to fly in here, get to the tournament, and then like they're sitting down on the stage for the first game, the announcer gets up with his microphone and just goes, and we found the following players guilty of back bans, and just back ban them on stage. Like, people thought that was going to happen, and it's like, guys, there's no way, because that harms the organisations. The players you might never work with again, but you know, the organisations like Fnatic, they're going to be a big part of DreamHack.
Did you ever see that? They should do something. Did you Did you ever see that Monty Python sketch called Blackmail, where it's sort of they should do that, but they just do it with like clips of incriminating stuff, and the organizations have like pay or anything to make them not keep on playing it.
Maybe that's what DreamHack should go into. Have a blackmail tournament. I think that could be the way forward. But it's been crazy. I mean, so far so good for Fnatic actually. I mean, they're the team under the most scrutiny, and they're still winning games.
Yeah, I mean, I actually hope Fnatic win it all, because I'm still, you know...
Swedes.
No, it's not just because of that. It's because they're the best team. Or are they?
Yeah, perhaps with some software. It's like the 6th Beatle, just like hovering in the background. I don't know. I shouldn't say that.
No,
really,
I mean...
You know, I'm like you. All I want is the truth ultimately.
Yeah, exactly. And I just feel like here it seems pretty impossible to cheat. And then just if they then, you know, say that they just win the complete final, they just blitz the opposing team, that would be the ultimate proof, wouldn't it? That would be amazing, to tell you the truth. So I'm hoping for that, actually.
Although I still think some people would say they're still cheating.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So,
I mean,
so there is that.
Yeah.
Well, look, you've been coming to events for a long, long time, and, you know, you've been all around the world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about DreamHack and your relationship with it.
I mean...
As a Swede.
Yeah, as a Swede. I guess this will be the awkward part, because my first DreamHack wasn't until like 2012, when I was like 18 or something. So that was...
God, what a filthy casual.
Yeah, I know. It's completely filthy casual. But it's just... I mean, there's something special about, you know, just walking around here. And like, that was the first thing I realized when I got here the first day. I'd forgotten that, like, there's this specific smell in the big hall, and it's not like sweat or anything. It's like all the fast food and everything like that, I guess, in combination with, you know, maybe sweat. You know, the fact that 10,000 people are like in the same room over a prolonged period of days.
Yes.
And you just get that whiff, and you're like, I know where I am now. You know, you just get that sense of, I know this place. I've been here before. It's amazing.
What's the best thing about coming to a DreamHack? Because you're always working at these things.
Yeah, I mean...
So, I mean, do you really get to enjoy them?
I mean, if you enjoy your work, you enjoy them. So, I mean...
How very philosophical.
I know, right? So, I mean, it's just like I guess just doing good coverage and then just actually getting home before like 12 o'clock feels good.
So, a few serious questions about journalism.
Sure, let's do this.
And the art of reporting.
I'm definitely qualified for this.
Well, I hope so. You know, we've talked about this quite a lot. Like, I was having a dinner with, well, breakfast actually. Oh my God.
There he is.
As if he's coming into the shot to do this.
So what time to come up here so I can hassle you?
No, how long are you going to be up here for?
A few minutes.
Do you want to join us?
No, it's Sam's interview, man.
Yeah,
but Sam.
We're talking about esports journalism. You done? All right.
All right, fine.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Sorry.
No problem. Do you want to share?
Do
you want to share the mic?
Yearly.
Can we mic him up?
Am I loud enough? Oh, look at this.
There we go.
Wait.
Hashtag production.
Hashtag production value.
So, dude, we were about to talk about esports reporting. I feel like we should do a rewind though, just while you're here. We were just talking about the vacuuming.
Do we have to talk about the vacuuming?
I gotta pick your brains about it, Scott. I know you've done the little nice professional bit, but that's that's for the stage.
Are we down and dirty here now?
Do you want to play musical seats first of all? Do you want to sit closest to Richard?
No, it's fine. You're already set up. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I mean, are we swearing? I don't know. Are we dropping F-bombs here on Twitch?
But I mean, like, because we're so old, I think we're
at the end of the day, it's incredibly shitty for the scene, for the clean players. Like, it's nothing you want. Obviously, Counter-Strike is my game, right? I've loved this thing forever. We've always had cheaters, right? That has never not existed. But this level, this high profile, where the game is now, and then these cheaters getting tagged, is new. Yeah. And again, it sucks. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, you don't want your heroes or your supposed heroes to be dirty, you know, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Not only did they get vaxxed, they then admitted to it. So there's no, like, well, maybe vax's not accurate. Like, they came out and said, we did it. Now, the debate is, well, I did it one time in the summer, and my dog ate my homework and all that. Whatever, you know, like, as soon as you cheat, like, your credibility and like, your honesty level in my book goes out the window. Do
you think Valve should start communicating when it comes to pro player bans that, you know, we're not going to tell you what cheat they used, but we're going to give you a date, and we're going to say absolutely that third-party software was used on this date, and then we can just do the rest. We can join the dots.
Yeah, I absolutely think, you know, that for all very valid reasons, they keep their VAC system and their communication about it. Like, your VAC vendor cheated. That's it. That is the communication. But that's okay if you're a matchmaking kid or you're VAC'd in a different game or whatever. Like, you don't even necessarily need that information. But pros getting VAC'd, we definitely would love to know where, when. Maybe not the how, like you said. Keep that under wraps. Because, again, did he cheat in a LAN tournament that won them money? Did he cheat in an online tournament that won them a berth or money? Because then there could be financial repercussions against that, right? And again, like Valve is like, well, we don't really give that information out. And like, yes, you don't, but this is a different level of cheat. You know, whatever game. Yeah. Our game in particular, you know, and it absolutely sucks, you know, because now it's turned into right or wrong, a whole lot of CSI detectives and a whole lot of witch hunting, potentially clean or potentially dirty players that haven't been caught yet. And I guess, if anything, it shows that our community is immensely caring about this, right? They're like, again, they're all doing detective work, you know, I mean, to the point where they're even saying that Flusher is cheating right now here. I don't know, you know.
What's security been like, Scott? Seriously, because some people are saying the security has been absolutely paramount here, like unprecedented in any Counter-Strike event. Others have been saying it's a bit of a facade, actually.
Others.
I don't know.
Not me.
I don't know.
Look at me like that.
No, I didn't mean.
I don't know if I agree with the others per se. It's certainly the most secure Counter-Strike Go tournament in the day, you know, ever. But it's obviously a newer game in the sense of years of Counter-Strike. You know, there were tournaments even back in the days of CPL with 1.6. Like, those admins were hardcore. You know, it's Laurent and those guys, right? If you ever worked with Larry, like, he doesn't care. He doesn't fanboy. He gives you no extra, you know, like, nod because you're a superstar in whatever video game he's adminning. And again, like, they locked down machines. They were really careful about stuff. Again, back to the day of having to send your mouse drivers in and all those things. And some of those things were just logistically to speed the tournament up, so they didn't have to go digging for drivers. Now, obviously, those drivers and those mice can hold cheats in them, right, because of the storage devices. Yeah. So, like, the saving, like, if there is a silver line in all of this, is it's woken everybody up. Whether it's a DreamHack, a Faceit, anyone throwing tournaments, you know, that admins need to get back on their shit. Like, admins have been incredibly lax. And we've always had this kind of for years, like, oh, he's an onliner, so yeah, maybe he cheats at home, but there's no way you can't cheat at LAN. Well, now we know that these cheats are so sophisticated that actually you can cheat at LAN, right? And you have to take all these steps. Lock down USB ports. Like, there is no internet access here. There's access to very specific Steam servers for these guys, so their skins will sync, and they can get into the game and those kind of things. But there's no internet access. There's no workshop access. So they have done things that they've never done before. And again, you know, Valve's definitely opened their eyes. They make a lot of money with Counter-Strike Go. Simple as that. Not only on the pro scene, but there's a much bigger scene of Counter-Strike that doesn't necessarily care about the esports side of it. Yeah. And they make money on a clean game. If everyone thinks this game is bullshit and everyone cheats, because we always say in matchmaking there are cheaters, right? And they get back banned eventually, whatever. But like, this is a different level of cheater as well as exposure, right? I mean, like, the mainstream gaming press picked this up, right? Just like all the other scandals in esports, they start picking up. And so that's the silver lining, is like, it's a serious wake-up call before we start giving away $1 million, right? But it absolutely sucks, you know? And it sucks for the clean players, if they are clean, that are getting witch hunted. And it certainly sucks for guys like I'm a firm believer that the guys on Titan had no idea, right? The teammates, and they're denied. The organization is screwed. You know, they lost their invite. The players don't get to compete. You know, because that team coming in, again, confirmed cheater on their team, but that doesn't mean the rest of the team knew about it. Right? And again, these cheats are so sophisticated. It's not like I'm sitting next to you and going, "Dude, nice aimbot." Right, like the percentage ones, and those ones you can really customize control, like the 8th bullet's going to be a headshot. You just, hey, nice shot. Like, how would you know, right? And again, maybe they did know, maybe they suspected, and I think that's the other side of this, like, punishment coin, is now every organization and every player has a vested interest to maybe keep an eye on you a little bit, right? Because you'll lose your berth. You like, it's not that he'll get punished, you're all going to get punished. Because it's kind of like, am I my brother's keeper mentality, right?
Yeah, so this is something that I think you'll be wanting to report on possibly as well. I talked to Odie, I talked to a few, team owners, team managers, and they're saying, well, what we're going to do now is we're going to start putting it into the contracts that if you get caught cheating, you're liable because it damages our brand, it harms our earnings, it can impact on our merchandising. We're going to make sure the players who, you know, if any player does get caught cheating, we're going to nail them to the wall and potentially sue them.
Absolutely agree with it. I mean, again, all top contracts generally, and you've seen a lot of them, there's always like that sportsmanship, like best practices kind of clause, like, hey, you know, don't be an asshole, you know, or we'll fine you, we'll do these little things, you know, you're a role model, all these things. But those generally don't lead to lawsuits or financial recovery. And again, like, we're talking lots of money. You know, if you end up top 8 out of this tournament, you get sticker money at the next major, you get invited to the next major, and we're talking sticker money now approaching 100, 150, by next sticker maybe $200,000. That, the team gets a cut, the players get a cut, and I absolutely would rewrite my contracts, addend them right now. You want to keep playing for us? Sign this, because you're absolutely right. Like, it is an incredible brand damaging thing to be associated with a cheater, and I would, like, now is the time, right? We always talk about, well, no one will sue anyone because there's no money to be made. There's no money in the scene.
Not now.
That is not the case anymore. These are, especially these big brands, right? And again, like, and maybe that it takes one team to sue one player and win that lawsuit to even send another strong message, like, you know what? It's not even worth downloading it, dude. Don't you're and that's the problem. Like, it's not like it's random Johnny Bravo who's downloading a cheat to become from a shitty player to a great player. Like, these guys are all, cheater or not, their baseline is pretty damn good, but they felt that they needed that extra edge, right? And like somewhere along the way, the cons of that have to outweigh the pros. But then I looked at real sports, right? And you always look at this stuff. Like, remember when Lance Armstrong was a god? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, very quickly, well, over the course of years, he got accused very quickly, but it took a long time to prove that he was doping. And his entire team was doping, right? And then they strip him of everything. He loses all his sponsorships. All those things go away. So he got a financial tag, but long after the financial windfall of winning, right? So again, like we always talk about, it's just like sports. Well, you know, there's drug use, there's steroids. All those things have happened in real sports, right? Match fixing. We're seeing this stuff, and now we have to figure out legally the repercussions of it and how to protect the best we can. I mean, the scary part about it is it's just like antivirus and virus, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Virus comes out, they figure it out, they fix it.
An antivirus.
But they're always ahead of the game. The cheat manufacturers will always be ahead of Valve or ESEA or anyone's client, ESL Wire. Everyone's got these little clients, right? And again, like, they all have to scramble. Like, and it's always made me nervous, like, how important online play has become for this game, because again, it's always been like, you're in your bedroom, who's freaking gonna know? And some clients are more evasive than others, right? ESEA has the most evasive client, you know, so evasive that at one point they were doing the Bitcoin, right? Like, they had their own scandal, right? But like, that client is like the best client, right? So, you know, it again, back to the original question, it really sucks. You know, I woke up that one day and I went, like, is the fucking sky gonna fall? Because Emilio goes down, right? And you're like, okay, whatever, you know. And then these other guys start
he went down in hilarious circumstances.
Live on stream.
What's wrong with you Swedes? Why are you all cheating?
Yeah, live on stream.
Gotta be the best.
But the scary part about it is, like, everyone was, even on some of your shows, you're like, there's more coming. We're not done yet. And maybe that's the scary part about it, is obviously no more backpans came before this.
I just wanted to do the Game of Thrones thing.
You were totally like clickbaiting the world with your stuff.
Like, please be more coming.
But you have to like think of it logically. Are these really the only two that are using sophisticated cheats? That would be a weird thing to think, right? So what heroes are going to fall, right? And it sucks, you know. There's no, like, and the only silver lining is now the enforcement side of it, stronger admins, more admins, all the things that DreamHack is doing. And again, like, it is definitely taking phones, all those kind of things. They never used to do that stuff, you know. And there's still things that there's no easy fix to, right? And I'm not going to throw DreamHack under the bus or anybody else, but and this is any esport right now. Players can see the audience. Right? Forget the soundproof side of it and hearing the casters, but you know, there's a whole different way to cheat, right? Like, I'm a coach or I'm a player at the end, and you're my buddy, and put, you know, your favorite game here, right? You're in the audience, and you hold up one side of the cheerful, and that tells me that my opponent pulled Leroy Jenkins, right, in Hearthstone, or it's a brush to B, right? You show the other side of the cheerful, and that code tells me something else, right? Oh, they're got CZs.
I don't know if you're reading my mind here, but I was going to bring this up. This actually happened at not a lot of people know about this. I don't think it ever went public. But there was a system at CGS, the UK and European qualifiers, where everyone who was involved, like be it a coach or a media, you had to have those special, tags round. And the system was that way round B, that way round A.
See,
and that was going on with players back in 2006, 2007.
Yeah,
and probably Swedes as well.
And again, like if they don't take the phones, you could do vibrating things. But again,
Hiko's hat.
But I could have Hiko's hat. I could have 2 phones, right? Here's my phone, little Robin.
Yeah.
And and I'm still vibrating. And I know I talked to Huck about this a little bit, right, over online, and he said in Korea they take it one step further. Not only do they take all your electronics, they wand you, like they would at the airport. Beep! What is that? Again, same kind of thing. Like take any possibility away. Now, but again, they can still kind of see the audience too, right? So what do? You put these guys in a fishbowl. You put them in a pure soundproof booth. You put them behind one-way glass so you can camera in, but they can't see out. But the kind of cool part about it is how close they all are, right? And that interaction. But somewhere along the way, someone has to go, you know what? That doesn't outweigh the possibility.
I mean,
right?
The grim part is what you're effectively describing, which is absolutely an environment where people can't cheat, and there can be no argument about the competitive integrity, but it's effectively playing online just in a venue.
Yeah,
It takes everything that's magic about a DreamHack or a big event and just strips it because, these people that have acted in a supreme act of selfishness have made it now where we don't feel we can have that anymore.
Yeah, and that's the point. Like, why even bring them here, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're going to tuck them away, you can do that anywhere.
Yeah.
And again, that's something that's different than like cheating in real sports is down to like doping and betting scandals and throwing games and stuff. But like you can't necessarily cheat at the game of basketball while you're playing it. And we have that these hacks, right? And obviously it doesn't matter if Kobe signs in the audience as he's playing the basketball game. He's not going to get any intel there, right? So that's kind of unique.
Your shot.
Yeah, that's unique to us, right? So
Run.
And again, like the fix is absolute isolation, and that absolutely ruins the excitement of being in the same room with him, right? And again, that's way beyond the just worrying about soundproofing and can they hear the casters and is that cheating, those kind of things. So it just sucks, back to it just sucks.
So let's move away from the sucky stuff.
Good, I like that.
Yeah, I know you don't want to be all about that. And let's talk about, Sam was saying earlier that,
Let me look at my phone real quick.
Yeah, I know.
We got to get back from this next match is going to be...
I'll make this the last question for you then. So, has the sucky stuff detracted from it? Because it looks like it's been a pretty good tournament. We've had some amazing games. The Hellraisers Fnatic game in particular has stood out for me yesterday. I think there's been some great series. Nipper looking back on form. There's so many great storylines coming out of it. I've got to say, Fifth Laren's been doing great as well.
Yeah,
he's a natural though.
Yeah, his transition to the media side of it is exactly what you want from an ex-pro.
He'll tell you about this. Back when we were at 30p, I think we casted a game together shortly after that. So back when he was still a CSS player, he was always going to be good at this. Yeah. But he was just amazing.
Yeah, he's doing great.
But overall, the whole tournament, how's it been? Has it stood out as a classic for you? Is it one for the ages?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, all this BS aside, we're seeing some amazing Counter-Strike. A couple teams squeaked in and then got their butts kicked, right? Penta just got thumped really good by Virtus Pro, right? Yeah. But again, cool for them. They made top 8, good exposure for their organization, their new players, sticker money, all those good things. We're about to, I'm running back to do LDLC Fnatic, which pretty much everyone would have said grand final match, right? And we get it early. Yeah. Virtus Pro NIP rematch. Poland have to play each other in the semi. So we're seeing amazing Counter-Strike, and again, I was even worried. I'm like, I really want to break. I think we were 415,000 in Cologne. Yesterday we went a little over 300,000.
Yeah, in the group.
In the group, day one, right? So I hope we can still hit that. And a lot of people, you read the Half-Life TV threads and Reddit threads and like, fuck this game, I'm not watching. I think they're all full of shit. Everyone who's going to watch is still watching. Now, maybe a few of those people are tuning in and they're kind of those, I hope someone gets back. I'm here to watch something get nailed.
Nothing wrong with being a rubbernecker.
Yeah, but I don't think in that sense it's definitely like thrashed our game. If this didn't stop, if it doesn't get fixed, if we all go home and next week 5 more pros get tagged, That's not good, you know. But again, we've seen amazing Counter-Strike, and I think the rest of these quarterfinals, and because the last one is also Dignitas Na'Vi, you know, and that should be a barn burner. And then again, winner of that plays, you know, LDLC Fnatic. So we've got a great rest of our tournament going, and great casters, great players, great venue. You know, DreamHack has really stepped up how Counter-Strike looks this time. You know, each time they do a little better. But we've always kind of been a stepchild. Like, you're going to play here for a little while, and this is kind of your little area. And then the finals we'll put over here in the big theater. And they've literally built, you know, Nicholas and crew have built us our own arena. You know, Jumbotron, if you will, in the middle. And it's always packed. And so, yeah, I mean, again, at the end of the day, like, we're having awesome Counter-Strike.
Nip to win it?
Ooh, no. I think the winner of LDLC Fnatic wins it, and they end up playing Virtus Pro. I think Virtus Pro will beat NIP. But again, it is one of those games. Like, if NIP from today shows up, solid NIP. If NIP from yesterday shows up, and they literally should have lost to ESC, right? And that was ESC's mistakes on a couple rounds that flipped that game, and they're out, right? And you never really know. I mean, we didn't see Virtus Pro yet, in the sense of they took on Penta, easy win, 16-5, 16-6. So it's going to be amazing. But I think Virtus Pro beats them, and I want to see LDLC in a final. I want to see a different major winner every time. Yeah. Right? No offense to the ones that have already won, but that's good for the scene if you have a series of people that it adds to the storylines, right? And LDLC is due, Dignitas is due. You know, will they finally break out? Right? They don't really get ever farther than top 4, so they got to get through Na'Vi. But again, Na'Vi almost lost. You know, Flipside took them to overtime yesterday.
I think Dignitas has been looking pretty good, actually.
Yeah, they're really rock solid, you know. And that'll be, you know, they kind of had a first easy group play too, so we'll see how they do against Na'Vi. But yeah, I think. Oh, look at you. Are you not happy? You're not happy with my NIP loss?
I'm super happy. I just don't have to say anything.
Yeah. I just totally hijacked his interview. I was just coming over to like give you the ear hump, right?
No, you wanted another gift. Like,
exactly.
I won't get to see you for the rest of the event now until you're flying home. So
Twitch party, as always, you know.
Oh, I don't know. I might be giving it a miss. I'm trying to cut down on my drinking.
All right. Well, we can just have like orange juices, man.
That's not going to work at a Twitch party.
No, it definitely won't. All right, I will leave you. I got to head back.
Hey, man. Yeah, it was great catch up. Break a leg.
Man.
Give my love to the boys.
Appreciate it. Absolutely.
How's Duncan been? Has he said anything?
Duncan's doing great. No, Duncan is fine. Like Duncan just needs a handler, right? As long as you keep him, you know, and we're keeping it real up there, right? There's not a whole lot of like fluff up there. Like, so he's got some good opinions. He always lets them out. But again, I think you put a guy like Duncan next to an ex-pro or a pro, it's the best of both worlds, you know. And me trying to steer the cats if you can, you know. But it's been great so far.
Awesome, man. Well, look, great to see you again. I'll let you get back to it. Thanks for coming over.
Thanks, Sam, for letting me hijack.
No problem.
Yeah, no worries. Now we can talk about esports journalism.
Yeah, now talk about me. Yeah.
And you.
Wait, the esports journalism, is that a thing?
Apparently
is that a thing? God frag, I wish. All right, later.
Laters, dog. So, back to esports journalism.
What's up?
Can you remember what we were talking about?
No.
Good. Well, what I was going to talk about is what it's like to come and, you know, do reporting at an event.
Yeah. Well, it's fun. Like, if you're actually really interested in esports and you just want to do it. I mean, this is probably the same thing you've been saying for the past 10 years. Just go out and do it. And like, if you're really interested and you think about the scene, you think about the game a lot, and you get in a position to do esports journalism, it's pretty much it's a neat job. You just go and talk to players. You just ask them whatever you've got in your mind. You just publish it, and it's really nice. No, it really is.
So what does a typical day entail in the life of, you know, a Swedish esports reporter? How does that work?
Are you talking about like here at DreamHack?
No, I mean just a typical day for you.
I mean,
yeah, okay, a typical day at an event.
It's just get up, you know, try and, you know, hope and pray you get a good hotel breakfast, take a shower, come over here.
In that order?
Yeah. Definitely, okay. Always that order.
Okay.
And then you just show up here, and then you try and argue with managers to get players. You try and make sure that players arrive on times you agree with. You just try and, like, you know, it's sort of like, kind of like a zoo-ish. No, not really. I'm sorry, pros. But you just try and get them, like, you know, or just like get them right on the spot. You know, you just have your camera ready, and you're just, hey, you want to do an interview? They're like, no. You just say, okay, sure. You don't want to do an interview? How long would it be? 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, okay.
Yeah,
and you just do
the
it.
haggling.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a lot of players have the stamina for my kind of interviews. But we do interviews in the middle of interviews.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know.
So it's just great. You just try and do that, and you hopefully get something more. You try and push it over 5 minutes. You know, the agreed time.
Yeah.
They probably don't have anything to do. They just say 5 minutes. So, I mean, and then you just do that. Try and get as much stuff as you can done. I mean, it is pretty tiring. It probably sounds like the cushiest job in the world, but like, as you know, just sitting there in that press area, you just eventually just feel like, you know, you're just getting more and more tired, and you're just eating fast food, and you're just thinking of trying to come up with a headline for a video, and it just doesn't come, and you just like fade out into your own sort of mind space, and then like half an hour later you're like, oh, I still haven't come up with a headline. But that's why I'm here with a team now, with the great Fragbite team, that actually we have a lot of people that work on separate things, and they can always just like, you know, that you always have someone to talk to. At least it makes you at least try and stay active. You're a bit in the zone.
Sweden has a great history when it comes to esports journalism, actually. They've always been a little bit advanced, you know. Fragbite do amazing work, you know, I'm a big fan. You know, worked with the Fragbite crew, always talk to them when I see them on the road. Prior to that, it was Rikaka, had my ups and downs with them.
Rip in peace.
Yeah, ripping pepperonis. And, you know, but now I see Afton Bladet getting involved, and, you know, even mainstream Swedish publications, and
definitely.
DreamHack's on telly. And
yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's just, we see the worth in it, and stuff like DreamHack makes Swedish entertainment overall see the worth in it. There's this thing annually each year, which is like called the Swedish Media Broadcast sort of festival or meeting, something like that, with just a ton of
it's catchy title.
Yeah, exactly, or something that, or something part really seals the deal for me, you know. But it's just where all the big media houses and just, you know, people that just work with advertisement and all that stuff, where they just gather together for one day, and they sort of just have their own little expo where they have presentations and everything. They had Kelby May from Good Game Agency do that, and he they had like an entire section talking about esports in general, like the actual worth in it, and people from national syndicated TV stations and everything, just talking about how they see the worth in it and the worth in Twitch too, and maybe getting into it themselves. They see that there's an actual worth in it, so people are more than eager to actually put the money in there too. And Aftonbladet especially are doing great. Like, they didn't start until like late summer or something, I think, and they're doing fantastic. They have 2 guys employed there, and they just work hard. And I mean, it's just great. And like you said, it is the biggest newspaper in Sweden. Yeah. So I mean, it's just having that riding on your coattail is amazing. It helps everyone.
So look, I'll let you get back to doing what you're going to do, because this 15-minute interview, I played you.
You totally
just 15 minutes, and then...
You just need to fill the queue, don't you?
Yeah, that's what it is. But, so tell all the fans that I'm sure you've got, you know, how they can follow you on Twitter, tell them about your YouTube channel.
Yeah, oh, my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I don't have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, which is why he's one of Sweden's biggest YouTubers. He does it subliminally.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing.
Incredible. Telepathic YouTube.
Yeah.
But Twitter, for example.
At WNDWRT. I should probably change my nickname.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
It is really rubbish.
How would anyone remember you?
No one will. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Only the real fans will remember it.
You know, when we do this VOD as well, we'll cut your bits out either side.
Yeah.
Richard Lewis interviews Sir Scoots. Who's that dude on the couch? That's how it's going to go down.
Perfect.
But look, man, honestly, it's great to see you. Thanks a lot for joining us on the couch.
No problem.
Here. And there you go. So that's one of Sweden's biggest YouTubers with no YouTube channel. And one of the leading reporters in the Swedish scene, telling you what it's like to work here at DreamHack. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We will be back with more interviews like this one on the Twitch TV lounge from here at DreamHack Winter.